I can tell you if it's a go or not by just discussing with you what you have. The product categories in the home shopping industry have really expanded over the years. It used to be years ago they would sell just jewelry and just little gadgets, but now TV shopping is such an acceptable way of life that the product categories have really expanded to a great extent. But you really need to find out. That's when the magic happens, when you put the two keys together of having that dream, but then also having the plan. We've all met a lot of people that have a lot of dreams. They're hoping this will happen or that will happen, and usually nothing happens. But we've also met a lot of people who have a plan, but they don't have a dream, and they're very busy. They're going here, going there, meetings all the time, but they never really end up where they want to be because they don't know where that is. So when you put those two together, when you have that dream and then you marry it with that plan, that proven plan, that's when the magic happens. So understanding what you have, your product, your idea, understanding where it fits is just of paramount importance.
One thing that I want to say, JP, is that there's two things that come with this screenshot to mind. One is you get people out there that will go out there and mortgage their house, borrow money, take investment money before they even have a proof of concept or know that it works, and then they find out that it doesn't, and they keep pushing the bad idea. Okay. Now, a lot of people say to me is they say, well, you never really know, and that is true and false to some extent. Yes, you could come up with a revolutionary idea and create a market that nobody's thought of or whatever, and I think, Bob, you'd have to agree, that's a really very, very, very rare situation.
Very rare. Yeah.
But the biggest thing is, guys, there's people that do this for a living, Bob being one of them, that know here's a product, here's a market, here's a need, solves a problem, creates a solution, fits into a niche, is priced right, works right, is explainable, the whole 9 yards. There is a formula to know whether 98% of you guys are going to be successful or not. Now, granted, you could have that one idea that nobody's thought of and create a market, but that is so few and far between, and you got to really ask yourself, are you really willing to give up the house and your retirement and everything you have to take that chance, or why not find an idea that fits into a market that is explainable? And you guys are entrepreneurs. A lot of entrepreneurs think they just have one idea, and that's you're creative. You're going to come up with more than one idea. It's not just the first idea you come up, it's the best idea you come up with.
And if I could just jump back in for a second, this is such an important starting point because, again, I've been asked so many times, Bob, here's what I have. Will it work on TV shopping? Will it really work? So what I've done over the years, I've put together a profile that I'm going to be able to go in depth of at the Hush 7 event coming up in August, just next month. My goodness. And I have 7 questions, and you can apply these 7 questions to your product, your service, your idea, and if you can answer yes to 3 of them, you've got something that could work in the TV shopping business. And just a couple of them would be, does it solve a problem? What you have, does it solve a problem? And if it does not, and this is especially for those with ideas, that's the first question I ask someone when they come to me and say, Bob, here's an idea I have. Do you think this will work? The first question I say, what problem are you solving? Because every product out there has to solve a problem. So you've got to put yourself in the mode of solving problems with what you have. When it comes to TV shopping, another question is it demonstrable? Can you demonstrate what you have? Keep in mind, TV is a visual medium, so you've got to keep it visual. And one advantage of the TV shopping business is that, against retail versus retail, is retail, your product sits on a shelf. TV shopping, you're able to tell the story. You're able to bring what you have alive, and a little bit later on, I'm going to share a surprise with everybody, and Nick and JP and Jessica already know about it, but it is going to change your life as an inventor. There's no doubt about it, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But a good point, good starting point right here.
And Jessica, what do you think, Jess? Jessica, if you...
I do absolutely agree that being the UIA, you know, we're a nonprofit organization, and our entire mission is inventor education, access to industry professionals such as yourself, and we also advocate on behalf of the independent inventor on Capitol Hill. We are the world's largest inventor organization, and time and time.
I'm losing
again. We have.
Yeah, I think she's got a storm in her area or something, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's breaking up.
Yeah. Nick, maybe if you can get a chat or something to her, and then we'll come back to her in just a little bit.
Have a problem.
She's on her. She's got backup. I think you're gonna have to. JP, go ahead and mute her. Let's keep going.
I'm actually looking for her name in the list. There we go. It's huge. There's a lot of people there. Okay, so I've muted Jessica, and I apologize, Jessica. And guys, she obviously has a lot of value to bring to this. We're going to keep going, and then Nick, if you'll just text me or Skype me whenever she's feels like she's got a strong connection back on. All right, so number 2, let's go to the next one real quick. Investing a ton of money into the wrong things and in the wrong order. Nick, you and I talked about this early on, and this really goes back to even sometimes getting the wrong kind of money. What are you seeing folks that come to you for structures and patents and copyrights and things like that where they're getting this wrong?
Well, you know, the biggest thing that I see is that, you know, when people get going, they spend money, like, for example, and Jessica and I talked about this, they'll go out there and if they've got to create a product, they'll go out there and do these molds and try to get a perfect prototype and everything all in order, when you don't need that. You just need something to show conceptually. And Bob, I'm sure will tell you, I mean, if it's hooked up with Band-Aids and rubber bands and duct tape and all that, and if it's something that just, you know, just gets feasible so that it can do the thing, but it doesn't necessarily have all the parts all perfected and all the holes all, you know, all the screws and the nuts and the bolts and everything perfect and shiny and painted and logos on it. That's not what people want, or that's not what people should be doing when they're taking their idea. They need to go get brass tack stuff created so that they can get it in front of somebody and they can look at it and say, hey, I know it's not perfect, but I get it, or I get what it does, or I get, like Bob said, I get the problem that it solves. I can see it. All they need is enough, but people will go out there and they'll spend 50, 100,000 on these molds, 5 up, 10 up, 50 up, all this stuff, and get them all created, and this thing all looks beautiful, and then you get it out there, and people say, yeah, there's something already like that, or I don't really see where the market is, or the price isn't right. You can't get the price down where it needs to be. I mean, Bob, I mean, you're really the better one to talk about this, but...
Well, let me address this from the perspective of, because I've talked to so many inventors and entrepreneurs over the years about this, and one of the key terms, are we getting feedback? Because I'm getting in my ear. I don't know if you're getting it. Okay, went away. I don't know what happened. All right, magic. JP's got the magic wand. But anyhow, I've talked to entrepreneurs over the years so many times. Here's the key word, sequencing. All right? Just write that down if you would, sequencing. it is of paramount importance to be able to work out a sequence of the events that, the process. And I get so much enjoyment out of working with entrepreneurs and inventors on creating that sequence, doing this now and not doing it, down the road or what have you. Now, as Nick talked about, when it comes to a prototype, I always like to say, when it comes to a prototype, remember this: ugly is okay. Ugly is okay. Put it together with safety pins or tape or whatever. It doesn't matter, because you know what? That idea that you have, when you go into the prototype stage, it's going to end up looking differently than what you originally thought. I guarantee it. One of the biggest mistakes. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, and we do educate our members to do that. We call it a functional prototype. It does not have to be factory samples. You do not have to have inventory. In the initial evaluation, you have a functional prototype, which, as Bob is describing, is often a Frankenstein bit of something that just proves your concept.
Exactly. But I've also found with inventors and entrepreneurs, with ideas, they keep the idea in their heads too long. Too long up here. You got to get it out of your head and get it on paper. Draw it. You don't have to be an artist. It doesn't matter. And then from the paper, you've got to create that prototype. And this process, once again, sequencing is key, and this process evolves. And it's never going to work out the way that you think it's going to work out initially, but if you follow that proper sequence, it will be incredible.
Yeah, when you look at people putting money, and I have folks come to me, and what's funny is they will have like hired coaches and these people. They've spent a lot of money by the time they get to you sometimes when they're trying to bring a product to market. And we will often find, you said, does it solve a problem? I want to take that a step further. Does it solve a problem people are willing to pay to solve?
Yeah.
Because we'll have people come along and they've created a solution, they've created an idea, and usually it started as a good idea. It didn't really start with the market. And so I often say, you know what, you need to actually go back some steps, make sure that you have found a group of people that have money and a problem, and they're willing to pay to solve that problem. And instead, they go out and they create a product. They write a book, they invent something, whatever, and they spend all this money. Nick was talking about molds and stuff. And they actually have the wrong product.
Yeah, you're right. And the extra step to that, because in my particular industry, TV shopping, the products that go on the air on HSN are seen in 95 million homes around the country. So it's, when you talk about mass, it's mass. So it's a problem that has to be solved that is universally understood. Universally understood.
And there's so many people that often say, if they only understood how bad this problem is, they'd buy my product. And what you're saying is the market already needs to know the problem, right?
Exactly. You got to understand. Now, it's okay if the viewer, when they see your product and the viewer thinks, wow, I never thought about that, that's a great solution. That's okay. So people don't have to recognize it right away, but once it's explained, it has to be universally understood. Once again, because TV shopping, again, is going into 95 million homes across the country at the same exact moment.
The other thing that I think, and I want Jessica to pipe in here, the other thing I see is a lot of the entrepreneurs out there that create something, they get preyed upon. They get nailed by these predators, these coaches. And a lot of these quote-unquote coaches out there, or people that are going to help people out there with their idea or their concept, they never created anything themselves before they realized that they could sell information, that they're going to tell you how to do something, and they've never done it themselves. They've never taken a product to market. They've never created it. They don't know about funding. They don't know how to start a business. But they go, oh, I figured out how to make money. I'm going to go sell a $5,000, $10,000 coaching program, and I'm going to do webinars with you, and I'm going to sell you how you're going to be so successful, even though they're self-acclaimed and they've never done it themselves. So, Jessica can pipe in here, but avoiding predators and avoiding getting coached before you even have something to be coached on, and avoiding spending money on that when it should be taking the product being brought into fruition instead of, you know, somebody feeding your ego. I mean, and that's what a lot of these people do, is they just feed the ego and they tell you how great it's going to be or whatever. They're not interested. They don't have a clue whether or not that's going to be successful. They just know that if they keep telling you the things that you want to hear, you're going to keep paying them. And that's not what you want. You want somebody brutally honest, you know, rip the Band-Aid off, put a tourniquet on the wound, whatever it is, and get on to the next idea, or take care of that idea and bring it to fruition. So, Jess, any comments on that? I know we've talked ample.
I do, unfortunately, absolutely have to agree with you on that, Nick. You know, look, we're all here pursuing that American dream. You come up with a great idea, you work hard, you get to see all of your dreams come true. And unfortunately, there are a lot of predators along the way that are willing to benefit from your failures, essentially. A lot of taken advantage of because you are on that direct route in pursuing your dream. And if someone can sell you the pipe dream of making it easier for you with this very small investment here or just a continual investment here, then absolutely they can take you over the edge, which is I really do applaud you guys for coming and volunteering your time and helping sponsor this event to help inventors and entrepreneurs realize a lot of these things you can do yourself. Know the right questions to ask if you're bringing partners in, and know the right time to bring them in. A lot of times you're partnering, inventors in general are partnering with people way too soon, and it really cuts off their options down the line. Budding entrepreneurs, you see this all the time as they're making this business case. And yes, it is a very, sharky industry. So be careful, listen to the advice, take great notes here, and ask the smart questions as we're going along.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to my particular industry, which is the TV shopping business, and people come to me and they say, you know, Bob, why should I, you know, work with you to get my product on the air? I always tell them, whether it's me or anybody else, here's the question you have to ask. Ask the person that you're considering, ask them, what do they have on the air today? What have they sold on TV shopping today? Not a year ago, not 5 years ago, but because it's such a ever-evolving business, it changes all the time. So you've got to keep current. So in my business, you ask, what have you sold today on the air? That will really sort out the people that can help you quickly. And just for instance, yesterday on the air, one of my clients, Bath and Body Set, we sold $1.4 million worth of Bath and Body products within 24 hours. That's what the sales were generated, total sales. That's not profit. That's total gross sales, $1.4 million within 24 hours. So you need to find out, if you're asking a coach, if you're evaluating somebody who's going to help you in this process, what are they doing? Well, like Nick said, what is their success record? All right, that's what you want to find out.
Excellent. Let's move to number 3, guys. Not having their entity structured correctly for proper funding or investors, and we can really talk about the whole thing of funding around this, because I know that's a big question mark for a lot of inventors.
I guess
Nick, this is really you,
me, right?
Nick.
So, first of all, I would like to say,
should we put the slide with the pig up again?
I want to represent. I got my UIA shirt. Look, guys, to give you an idea on our background, so that you can get an idea where we're coming from. Our group has literally set up over 40,000 companies worldwide, and we work with a little bit over 15,000 investors. So we get both sides. The biggest thing that I ever see is that when people have an idea and a concept, they don't protect their business. They don't protect their intellectual property. They don't get patents. They don't hold their intellectual property separately from where they work out of. The biggest thing for investors is investors go into a deal knowing how they're going to get out. And there's certain entities that an investor will never go in because they don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just not available to them. And I know Bob knows exactly what I'm talking about, but The investors go in, a good investor, a real investor, goes into the business knowing how is it that I'm going to get my money back and a rate of return. I want to send my money out, and I want it to go out, and I want it to grab a bunch of friends, and I want it to come back to me. Okay? So if you don't have a proper structured entity, you've got a problem. First of all, if you are a sole proprietor, that's your first mistake. You are never, ever, 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 did I say ever? Ever take a product out there to market if you don't have an entity. You work inside of an entity. You hold your concept inside of an entity. You never work as a sole proprietor. Sole proprietors have the highest tax bracket in the country, okay, have the least amount of deductions available to them. You file a Schedule C, and that's the most audited return on the planet for the IRS, so your chance of being audited are very high. Anything you do, anything that product does or causes, you hold all the liability personally. Somebody gets sick, somebody gets hurt, somebody wants to sue you, a competitor wants to come after you. If you don't have an entity, you hold all that liability personally, and you can't deduct certain things that are mandatory, like this Obamacare and other things that you just have to pay for as a course of doing business. Other than that, it's great. You never work as a sole proprietor. You need to have the proper entity in order to be able to allow the investor to come in knowing how they're going to get out. And I can tell you right now, a lot of people go out there and they sell their soul. Okay, you get this idea, you have somebody that wants to come on board, and you need $50,000 to go ahead and create a mold or create a prototype or whatever. And then what ends up happening is you do that and you give a lion's share of your profits, and you didn't need to do that. I want you guys to pay attention to one thing I'm going to say right now. Right now, there is a ton of money available for you as entrepreneurs. Did you know that you can get up to $50,000 in business credit for you, your idea, your concept, regardless of your FICO score, at a rate of 0% to 0.9% financing for 18 months? I mean, wow, that's huge. I mean, and a lot of you guys, not that you have to use all 50 grand, you might need 5 grand, 10 grand to complete an idea, get something done, whatever, but instead of going in getting that money, that's cheap money to help you out, you'll go out there and you'll go sell 40, 50%, 20, 30% of your business, and then when you need the money, an investor tells you, I need X amount of percentage to make sense, and by the time it's done, between the guy that you went to earlier and the investor that came in after you, you won't hold a controlling interest of your company, and you're going to find yourself at the end of the day taking your key to the door and it doesn't work in the lock because they voted you out. And it happens all the time, Bob. I mean, hostile takeover, I don't care, lack of negligence, lack of knowledge, whatever, you're going to find yourself behind the glass looking into the shop. And it's all going on the inside and you're on the outside. And you don't want to do that. So you need to know how to structure your business properly and what kind of structures investors are looking for what kind of products. And after doing about 40,000 of them, we're just starting to figure out what we're doing. And after having 15,000 plus investors as clients, we get what they want, and we're happy to connect you. And that's part of the reason that we're doing this event. We want to connect you with the distributors, the manufacturers, the structure, the marketing, and put that last piece. If you need funding and you want to go to the banks to get funding, or if you need that investor to take you that next level, that's what this event is for, is to put all those pieces cohesively together so they function and make sense for you. But guys, I can't stress to you, structuring your business is the first thing you do, not the second, not the last. As soon as you get an idea, it's got to go somewhere. So that's important that you guys understand that. And you know, I mean,
is there anyone else? I know, Nick, that's where you live every day. Did
Right.
Jessica, Bob, anything to add to that?
I would just add that Nick is so right. He's right on, and it's that part of that sequencing. You got to do things in the right sequence. And I also applaud everybody for putting together the event we're talking about with just the right pieces to that puzzle. I mean, strategically, everybody has been placed in this event to answer questions from their area of expertise. But when you take a look at everybody at the event, you'll end up having that puzzle put together correctly in the right sequence. So, that's such an important part.
I think it feeds into this.
Can we move on just to touch base on the business entity structures that you're talking about? You're referring to LLCs, S corps, Incs, things like that, right?
Right. And so what people always ask me is, what entity do I use? And I always say it's tools to the job, right? If you have a hammer and you need a wrench, it doesn't matter how nice or pretty or shiny that hammer is, it's not going to do the job of a wrench. So tools to the job. There's reasons to have LLCs. There's reason to have corporations. There's reasons to have partnerships. And nobody can blank box you. What you need, meaning nobody can put you into this box and say, oh, well, you always need to be this. People that do that, it's because they don't know what they're doing. What you need is somebody that's going to be able to consult with you and say, hey, what is that you're doing and what is it that you're trying to do? And based on that, knowing how the different types of entities work, picking the one that's right for you for accomplishing your goals. And that's the key. I mean, that's what we specialize in. That's what we like to bring out to people is to say, look, stop having somebody tell you what you're going to be. Get educated on how they work, and then you pick based on knowing you know your product, you know what it is that you're doing in your business better than me or Bob or anybody that you tell, because it's your vision, it's your idea. Knowing what is your idea or concept and knowing how the structures work, the entities work specifically, which one do I need in order to accomplish my goals? Which one's going to work for me? And that's what we teach at the event so that you know. So nobody tells you what to do, and then you find out too late that it's not the right one. You know right in the beginning what works for you and what you should do. And I can tell you guys, whether it's a CPA or an attorney or one of these mills that you see online, I spend 60% of my time fixing stuff that people did because they went out to somebody and they said, oh, well, they told me that I should do it. That's because that's what they know how to do. You need to understand how they work, and then you can pick, based on knowing your business and how they work, you can know how they work for you.
Excellent. Yeah, and Nick, I know that everybody gets, not everybody, but so many entrepreneurs get lured into, for $99 I could go on a website and fill out a form and they'll set me up a company. And so many people go down that path and end up, when it comes to crunch time and the government or lawyers or someone else is crawling up inside of them, they find out way too late that they don't have the right structure done the right way.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, guys, is that I would never throw anybody on the bus, and I won't drop any names, but you see these things online where you can go online and they'll fire your stuff or whatever. Guys, all you're going to get when you get that is a templated piece of garbage. What they do is they take a company's name and they take it off and they put your company's name. They take the old owner off and put you on as the owner. You have a templated thing like 100,000 other people out there. Guys, when the rubber hits the road, you need to have a business built specifically for you, with operating agreements or bylaws built specifically for your industry. When somebody is coming after you, or if it comes down to the IRS looking at you, that agreement is so critical. I can't even stress it enough. That's what's going to decide whether or not you protect your interest, your intellectual property, your idea, your baby, or whether or not somebody's going to attach to it, or whether or not the government's going to come in and say, oh, man, that's not a business. That's an alter ego. You didn't run your business like a business. And that's the biggest problem is entrepreneurs get these great ideas, And a lot of you guys are great idea guys, but you're not good business guys. You need to understand if you're an entrepreneur and an idea guy, be that guy. A lot of times a business guy and an entrepreneur, they don't mix. They're not the same thing. You might get an entrepreneur that has a business savvy mind. That's not the case a lot of times. A lot of times you're the creative guy. You're good at inventing, you know what you want, the colors, the logo, everything that you want to do, but you're not the business guy. You need to be aware of that. The other thing is you need to understand how important it is that a business is tailor-made specifically for you. For the cost of a good night out, guys, you can set yourself up and never have to say that you're sorry and not be the one without a chair when the music stops. So it's very important. And Jessica, I'd like to hear from you because I know we talk about this all the time, but you need to approach your idea is your baby and it's yours, and I got it. I get that. But you need to understand how important it is that you take that idea and concept and you run it like a business. It's imperative. It's critical.
I would absolutely agree with you. There is a distinct difference between an inventor and an entrepreneur. An inventor is very much ideas, coming up with new solutions, seeing the world just a little bit differently and wanting to make it better for everyone. An entrepreneur, it's the business side of it. It's how to commercialize, how to make money off of those great ideas. And there is a distinct difference. So it's great that we're having seminars like this to kind of help bridge that gap, bring the two together, and give inventors the tools and tricks as small business owners that the big guys are using. These big corporations are using these same techniques and the same skill set and applying it to your own ideas and really having the fortitude to run the business. If you're an idea person and that's all you want to be, that's absolutely great. There's lots of people along the way that can help bring your ideas to market. But if you really want to make it your own and it's something that you want to be able to hang on to and grow, then it is a complete different mindset, and having the tools in place and the understanding to know where you are now and where you want to be and then how to get there is hugely important. So if there are any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer from my end, but Nick, you did such a great job of explaining.
Yes, yeah, you certainly did, Nick. Let me just add the source of this challenge. What causes this? And I have found it over the years that if you, and the source can be emotion, all right? If you become so emotionally attached to what you have, your idea, your product, the service that you offer, if you're so emotionally attached and you think that it's the best thing out there, and it could be, I'm not saying it isn't, it could be, but if you have that mindset, well, all I have to do is tell people about this cup, all I have to do is just show them this cup, and they're going to want it because it's the best in the world, that is the recipe for disaster. You have to constantly, what I call, create the need for what you have. I've always said no one has ever bought anything at TV shopping that truly needs it. And if you think about it, it's true. Lives will go on, but we create the need. You know, the nice viewer didn't wake up this morning and say, you know, I got to buy a diamond ring today. But when that diamond ring comes up a little bit later in the day, the need is created for it. So you've got to kind of move away from the emotional side, and you have to get into creating the need. And that's what I share with so many entrepreneurs out there. But it's a business, as everybody's been saying. It's a business, no question about it.
Yeah, guys, let's move to our fifth one.
Yeah, let's go to 5 because I was just going to say, you know, guys, why Hush Hush Secrets of the Ultra Wealthy was created is because I don't know, I mean, JP, Bob, Jessica even, I've spoken with some of the top guys in the world. I've been all over the place. I know these guys have too, and I can tell you I just got so sick of this rah-rah, back of the room, pitch festival, and, you know, I would leave one of these quote-unquote seminars, and I felt like I had to take a shower to get the filth off of me. I mean, it was just horrible, and I couldn't stand it. And I said, look, these people, they want to learn how these things work. They need a workshop. They just need a forum where they can come and not have this just be bombarded, this go to the back of the room and go buy something that people aren't really interested in who's in the room. They're just interested in putting money in their pocket. And I said, enough of this stuff. Nobody will go out and do it. We're going to go out and do it. And we created, this is our 7th event. They've been huge. We've walked close to 4,000 people through this. We wanted to create a forum where you can go and you can learn, you know, where you get funding, how to create your product, to bring it to production and marketing and distribution. How do I get on the internet? How do I create funnels? How do I drive traffic to it? You know, how do I write good copy? How do I buy airtime and ad time? How do I gear my product up for TV? You know, how do I know when somebody's telling me the skinny or not and being honest? You know, how do I pick my good team? And who do I need on my team? And who do I need first? And then who do I need second? You know, how do I go out and get the right people so that they plug into spots that I need and I'm not wasting money? You know, all these things. That's why Hush was created, and that's why we're doing this for you. And we were so grateful and glad to partner up with UIA on this thing and say, hey, guys, you know, we've got the forum in order to get out there to the people. We want to talk to as many people as we can before they get ripped off, before they go the wrong direction, right? Before they waste money, before they waste time, before they waste effort, before they mortgage the house, sell their soul. We want to get them and say, here's information, and now you know. And now you know what you need, and you know where to go get it, and you know what you need next, so you know how to put things in order. And that's why we created this thing. And guys, we've had great, incredible feedback. We're the #1 small business and investor forum in the world out there, guys, and it's a great thing for you guys to be a part of, to learn, to have one place and you can collaborate and put all these people in a room, all the marketing people. Am I babbling? All the distribution people.
Oh, that's great.
All the promotion in one place. Guys, I get so passionate about it. I don't even get so passionate more so about the fact that we have a place for you to go learn all these things as I do get passionate about keeping you from getting ripped off. I can't stand it. I see all these people and they just get taken advantage of, and they have their trust violated and their ideas ruined because of these predators and creditors and things like that are attaching to their business or their idea. And I just said enough is enough. We created this thing. It's an awesome forum, and we want you guys to be a part of it. So, JP, you want to get into this?
Yeah, I think I'm going to put up a link. I'm going to have to, let's see here, let me go back to that thing and we'll send it out in the chat, because there was actually a code. But why don't you talk just a little bit about dates and specifics of what's coming up, and also Jessica will be presenting at lunch, but there's some very special things that Bob's doing here, and guys, I don't think we can keep the lid on top anymore. I think you guys ought to talk about what Bob's doing.
I want to tell everybody.
Yeah, I can't stand it anymore, and Bob, I'm going to let you tell it. But what we're doing, guys, get a pen, because the dates you want to look at is August 14th and 15th. That's a Friday and Saturday. And what's going to happen is it's a workshop. Day one, what will happen is you will be able to attend the event. If you're on this webinar today, you're going to be able to attend the event. It runs 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now, what will happen is day one, you'll have speakers go on the stage, and they're going to talk about the what. And you can go to hushvipevents.com and see the different topics and the different speakers, and so you can see what it's all a part of. And what we're going to do is we're going to teach you and train you at the workshop, and then we're going to provide a 4-course lunch for you. And then what we're also going to do is at the end of the day, at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., we're going to provide a cocktail reception for you, and you're going to be able to go and collaborate and talk and network. There will be investors in the room, distributors in the room, vendors in the room, marketing and people in the room. All those different things, guys, you're going to be able to collaborate and talk with them, have appetizers, have a couple drinks, food, the whole 9 yards, and be able to network and do what it is, and teach and talk about your idea and network and put some pieces together. Now, what's going to happen is at the end of that day, you're going to be able to sign up for classes the next day. So you will actually pick the speakers that you want, and then day 2, you're going to be able to go into classes, 50-minute classes that rotate. So think about going for Math 101, Science 202, English 303. You're going to be going in classes 50 minutes, pick the speakers and the times, go in there, and then get personalized, in a personalized setting, get training in that personalized setting, ask questions, get the help that you need in a more condensed setting so that you can take your business to the next level. And then what will happen is the classes will go from, say, 10 to 10:50. You'll be in classroom 1 and pick a speaker, and then the classroom will break. You'll have 10 minutes to eat, drink, use the phone, use the restroom, whatever. Then at 11 o'clock, hop into another class on another topic. So it's for you, and you'll be able to get the training and ask the questions and get in that personalized setting to be able to move your product, move the football down the field to score. But now I'm going to bring in Bob because there's a special thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how much I want to tell. Do I want to just hand it off to you?
Yeah, I want to tell everybody because
Okay.
this has never been done before.
I'm not going to blow it. This has never been done
Really?
before. And let me tell you what's going to happen. Bob, take it away.
Okay, let me just give you a very brief background, okay? 38 years ago, I was there at the beginning of the whole industry. When all the TV shopping industry started, I'll tell the whole story at the event, how it really came about, what was the first product that we sold on the air in 1977. But now, the industry of TV shopping is all over the world. You name a country, and I guarantee they have a TV shopping channel. One thing I've learned throughout all these years, if you want to successfully market anything, anywhere, you've got to have 2 key features, all right? You've got to have 2 keys, 2 elements, and you can't have just one. You got to have them both. I've initialized them as P and D. P stands for presentation. D stands for distribution. Presentation is all about your pitch. How are you going to be able to pitch? Are you going to be able to create the need for what you have? Whether you're going for funding, whether you're going for a manufacturer, or whether you're actually selling your product, to the consumers. You've got to have the right presentation. The D is what stands for distribution. You've got to be able to get it out into the market and the right kind of market. You could have a great presentation but be in front of the wrong people. You could be in front of the right people with a wrong presentation. That's why you got to have them both. So I'm going to teach you both at this particular event. But let me tell you what we're doing that's never been done before. And very few people even know about this because it's not going to be released nationwide until August 10th, okay? But HSN is starting a brand new program segment that focuses on inventors and entrepreneurs. And they have authorized me and they have asked me to search all over and find the inventors and entrepreneurs, their products, their stories, and put them on the air. We are talking about putting what you have. This is real, folks, all right? This is not like dream, make up the, boy, I hope I can get my product on TV. This is real. To be in over 95 million, just imagine for a second, having your product in over 95 million households at the same time. This program starts on August 10th, the week before our event in Anaheim. The next airing I'm already trying to book in September and October. It's going to be on every single week. All right, so I cannot wait to meet you at this event so I can take a look at the product you have, or I can hear about the idea that you have, where you are in the process, how to get you where you need to be. But if you have something that's ready to ship, it's ready to market, then you could be on TV within 30 days. You could be on HSN. HSN. So HSN is doing this, and why I'm so excited about telling you about this now is because in August, after the Hush event, they're going to let the entire country know about it. They're going to come out with an announcement where they will say, if you'd like to get your product on TV, here's where you need to go. You're going to know way ahead of time. What did we talk about earlier? That sequencing, having the advantage. That's what this is all about. So this is real stuff. I have entrepreneurs going on the air that have never been on TV on August 10th, and then I'm going to meet you in Anaheim, and then I'm going to hear about what you have, and hopefully you can get on the air in September or October or December. This is real stuff. I'm excited about this. This is great. I can't wait.
So HSN is
I'm sorry, just to clarify, did you just say from that meeting you to on-air home shopping in 30 days?
HSN, I
don't know if many of you have gone the home shopping route, but that is an incredible timeline. Oh my gosh.
There's no question about it. Now, and I'm glad you brought that up, Jessica. On that timeline, that fits if you have a product that's ready, to ship, because you've got to go through the internal process at HSN, quality assurance and things like that. But we fast track that. We speed that up. So if you have something that's ready to ship, you could be on the air within 30 days. Now, if you happen to be in another stage of the process, let's say a prototype, then we can also help you move along that process as well at the event.
So the big thing, guys, HSN is coming out with a new show to highlight entrepreneurs, their products, and the stories behind them.
Yep.
Bob's been tapped on the shoulder to do a nationwide product search, and that launch is taking place at the Hush event, August 14th and 15th at the Hyatt Regency Orange County in Anaheim or Garden Grove. Now, I want you guys to understand.
Nick, can I just add one thing? Can I add one thing? When you go on the air, I'm going to go on the air with you, okay? You're going to go on the air to talk about what you have, but I'm going to be there with you, to make sure that we create the need for the product. It is such an exciting opportunity. Can I mention what the name of the segment's going to be? Are you ready? Yes. HSN American Dreams.
This is the Hush Hush Secrets of the Ultra Wealthy Dreams to Reality Summit, guys. This is what it's for. It's for you being able to take your idea or concept and bring it to market. Not hallucination, dreams to reality. And guys, look, we need to get on this, JP. Some of you guys have gone to this site and are buying tickets, all right? And I want to stop you. We're happy for you guys to buy tickets, but we have a deal for you, okay? So you don't have to pay full price. Now, normally the tickets, people are paying $4.97 to go to this event. Okay, but what we're doing is, JP, can you put that code in there?
We've put it in the chat, and let me find a way to put this on this slide real quick.
Yeah, if you go to hushvipevents.com and go to the sponsor code and type in UIA 2015, I appreciate you guys that bought tickets. We're going to give that money back to you. We want you to go back in under the discount because it'll save $200. So instead of $4.97. It's $2.97, and it gets even better than that. The first 30
Can you guys see that on your screen? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, we can. The first 30 people that sign up right now and go there and sign up, what's going to happen is, you remember how we said we had that 4-course lunch? We're doing it. But Bob, we put into a separate room for 30 people, and at lunchtime, while we're all sitting there hanging out with ourselves, you guys are going to have a private mastermind session with Bob at lunch. You're going to be able to have lunch with Bob Circosta and be able to have the full access, Q&A. He's going to do a little training for you guys. It's going to be incredible. That area only holds 30 people, so it's only the first 30. So if you want to go to this and you want to be able to sit with Bob and ask all those questions that you always wanted to do, and not have to pay for anything, and have be able to ask all the things that you always wanted to and weren't able. The first 30 people alone that go there and sign up are going to be able to get the event, get all the benefits that everybody else does, except for you're going to be eating lunch with Bob Circosta in a private mastermind all to yourself. Nobody else, just you guys.
I love it.
UIA member.
And bring your products. Bring your products.
I do know that we kind of have to wrap this up. We're running out of time, but I wanted to talk to our audience a little bit about why the UIA is supporting this event. We, as you know, we represent trade shows and work with trade shows to create these inventor areas at trade shows across the country in various sectors. What we have been lacking, however, is catering to the entrepreneurs in our membership. What I love about Hush Hush Secrets of the Ultra Wealthy and the platform that they developed is that they understand there is no one path to market. There is no one cookie cutter answer to anyone's pursuit of their dream, the American dream. And so what they've done is created a broad selection of topics that you get to choose that are interesting to you. What do you need to delve into more that's right for you and where you are in your process? So thank you to the show organizers for creating this amazing educational opportunity, for the discount code, for keeping Bob hostage for us for that whole lunch hour. Appreciate that. And we're really looking forward to seeing everyone out there in developing converting their inventor skills into their business, pursuing their entrepreneurial dream. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, let me say something real quick about events, guys. I know that when you're hit with something like this as spam, it's like this came out of nowhere. So we've been recording this. If everything goes as planned, we're going to get a recorded page, a recording replay up, and we'll allow you to watch this again. Maybe you have a business partner or a spouse you'd like to share this with, and watch it. And we'll leave that up for a couple of days, and we'll have a link below there that goes straight to the website to order. But I want to warn you, 30 spots. That's it. There's 30 spots to get in on that lunch with Bob and that chance to basically fast-track yourself to TV. So as soon as we get it up, as soon as you get the link in your email, do not delay whatsoever, and you'll see over the next couple of days, we'll try to surprise you with a couple of things. We're going to throw some extra bonuses on there just for getting on board and joining us, but I can't wait to meet each of you out in Anaheim in August, and looking forward to it. So thank you, Jessica and UIA team, for putting this on. Bob Circosta, taking the time out. Nick Malice, Fortune DNA. Any final thoughts before we go, guys, real quick?
I want to urge everybody, when you come out, bring your products, okay? I want to see them. And that's why I'm so excited to be coming out there, because this is real stuff. I just want everybody to know that this is real. HSN has always believed in the power of the entrepreneur, and this entire TV shopping business was built upon inventors. It was built upon the spirit of entrepreneurs. And so that's why we're so happy to do the show.
How long is the code valid for, somebody asked?
We should be able to, well, the 30 spots will be gone and then they're gone, but the code, we'll see what we can do to leave that up for a few days at least.
Yeah, I think it's
good.
So this was technically supposed to be an early bird, and here we are about a month out, so we'll probably shut it off here within a week, something like that. But just whatever you got to do, guys, get there and get registered. Jessica, any final words?
I just wanted to thank everyone on the audience for coming. Hope we got to answer some of your questions. If you have follow-up questions, please feel free to email me, reach out, find us on Facebook. The UIA, we're here to help. Thank you so much to our panel for taking the time to come out and take us through this initial session of our Inventor to Entrepreneur series. So looking forward to the Hush Hush Secrets of the Ultra Wealthy seminar in August. We'll be posting all of that information by a website as well. I'm going to put in the chat box myself to applaud the panel for coming. And like I said, we're here to help for any follow-up questions that you have as well. Thank you.
Yeah, we're so happy.
Anyone anyone with an organizer code, do not shut down the event. We're going to leave it up for about 10 minutes. We'll pause on this screen. It's hushvipevents.com. And the code, once you get to the order form, is UIA 2015. That's going to give you a very significant deep discount. Bob, you said that the show is called HSN American Dreams. Right. I'm going to close this out with a poem I wrote a few years back. I wrote a poem about dreams that says, I was given big dreams that I could fulfill, the faith and belief upon which to build. I was given the eyes to observe the need, and within my heart faith planted a seed. Now regardless what force might stand in my way, I now know the words in response I can say. O be thou removed and cast in the sea, for I'm destined to live these dreams given to me. Thank you guys, panel. We'll see you guys in August in Anaheim, and looking forward to it. Take care. Good night.